Okay, so I'm switching to the computer for the blog today. I bought a little microphone and everything for it. Now I don't know where I put it, so we're going to use this. So uh, this is a Saturday. This is actually Saturday. This is Sunday. This is Sunday, the 25th of January. And this weekend, I spent some time working on projects. So the biggest project that I worked on to get the house ready was the guest bedroom. So we have actually two guest bedrooms in our house. One was Jacob's room, and then when he moved out, we turned it into guest room, which was basically we kept it the same. Um, it had, a bookshelf full of his books. It had some CDs and some puzzles and some games and just all the normal stuff that would be in a young adult's room. We had all that stuff in there, and it looked kind of beat down. So we're trying to each Saturday. I'm trying to spend like 3 hours or so at least. Oh, okay, Phoebe. Working on the house in some way, getting it staged. So yesterday, I spent a lot of time on the guest room. And what I did was I first cleaned all the baseboards, then I painted all the baseboards, then I painted the closet door after spackling the holes. And then I got Jeff to come in and take out, we had a couple hooks in the ceiling. He took those out and spackled those. I then we got rid of a bookshelf that was in there, and all of the books that were on there, we texted Jacob and asked him what he wanted. Otherwise, we got rid of some stuff. So, and then I went into the closet in that room, and in that closet are all the books that were in my study. And then I had a couple other things in there. So I had to just package them all up. And then when the baby visited, we had stuff for the baby. So it was more work than I thought. And I had hurt my back the day before. And so I was struggling really to get up and down. And it's pretty physical getting a house ready to sell. I guess I knew that, but I didn't really experience it till this week as well. That's not true. Last week I experienced it when I was doing the front porch. So, what did I learn in doing all this weekend? That it takes longer than I think. So the bedroom took probably about 5 hours to do, and I listened to Lily Allen's album West End Girl probably 10 times. A lot. It was a lot. So got that all done. That was probably about 5 hours. So I'm learning things are taking longer. I'm also learning I have to have like a little break and then go do whatever's the next project. So yesterday, the next project was sunflowers. So I bought a package of sunflower seeds to grow some sunflowers because I tend to do that. Some years I'm great at it, and some years I forget and they're late. But I got a bunch I packaged. I planted, I mean, a whole bunch of them. I planted, let's see, about 100, I guess, about 100 of them. And so they were in little seed trays. And then I took them from the little seed trays and I put them into bigger pots that will disintegrate when you plant them. They're like a very light cardboard kind of a pot. So I replanted all of those and then realized that I needed something to kind of help those because when I planted last year, the sunflowers, what I noticed was those that really got a lot of sun grew really tall, and those that did not get a lot of sun actually stayed more like small cutting flowers. So I put them in a couple storage containers and put the lid on last night because we have critters in the neighborhood and I didn't want them all dug up. And then I asked Jeff to go get some bigger storage containers that are clear plastic so I can put them in there and kind of use that as a little greenhouse till they get a little bigger. So when you plant them, they get kind of spindly, right? They start like this and then they get about this tall and they're almost like fallen over because they're just not very sturdy. So when you replant them, you replant like half of the stem into the dirt to give them some more stability and to help them grow taller. So that was the second project I worked on. And then the only other project I worked on was the planting of the potatoes. So I had mentioned that I had planted potatoes the last 3 years. I really enjoyed the potatoes. I mean, it wasn't a big crop, but it was nice. And this year I bought them not really thinking about that I wouldn't be here to, to harvest my crop. But I learned that they can be harvested in 90 days, and I will still be here in 90 days. So I looked at those yesterday, did some work on that, and then one of the things I'll do this afternoon after I finish my work is I will plant all of those as well. So learning things are taking a lot longer, learning that I need a couple different kinds of projects, um, learning that I have a lot of wall art that I'm trying to decide what I leave up. And also I think I'm learning that I do need to purchase a couple things. I mean, I've recognized that I tend to purchase things for the house in general, and then I was trying to do less of that since I'm moving, but I just purchased some white bedding for the two guest rooms. The bedding that's on there is great. I love it, but it's not really going to show well and it's not going to really give the kind of feel I want for the house. So my house is kind of a, I don't know, romantic shabby chic is kind of what it looks like. So I thought these bedspreads would be good. I watched a video a couple days ago about the real estate, I guess the real estate market in Chicago. So every area has a different kind of market. And the best way to learn about that is to follow realtors on YouTube who are in the market you want to move to. So there's a lot of realtors who do Chicago stuff. And so I've started following a couple of those. And yesterday I watched, a couple days ago, I watched a really good video about that. And he basically said that there was quite a difference in the real estate market in Chicago during COVID and right after COVID. But now it's back to a regular rhythm. And that rhythm is that more houses come up for sale right after Super Bowl and then go through the summer. And this is important because there haven't been a lot of good houses out there. I mean, I've seen a couple that I would go see in person. My price is higher though than Jacob and Julia's price. They are looking at something lower cost than what I'm able to afford. Jeff and I are able to afford. So I've seen a couple houses I would look at. I haven't seen anything perfect. One of the things I'm looking for is a study or a bedroom on the main floor that also has a full bath because we're going to be aging in this house and I want to make sure that we have that capacity to have a bedroom downstairs if we need that. So working, sent them that video, looked through that, figured that out, and looking forward to seeing what comes on the market in a couple weeks then as we start looking at houses more in earnest. So Jeff and I will be going back to Chicago the first week in March, and at that point we'll start looking. So the baby will turn 1 in March, and we're gonna go back for her birthday, and then we're gonna meet with the realtor and start looking at houses because I'm not sure how it'll work exactly, but we'll be able to at least come up with a down payment for a house to get that started while we're dealing with this house. So it's a lot of moving pieces for sure. So that's for today. That's what I got.